Now, the Working Abroad Expo has been running for the last 7 years and is one of Europe's most established international relocation exhibitions. The exhibition is taking place in the RDS in Dublin this weekend, and with thousands of jobs for both skilled and unskilled workers on offer. Joining us now at all the details is Mary Moran from the Calgary Economic Development Delegation, and Stephen McLaren, an immigration expert from the Working Abroad Expo, who's been with us a couple of times before. Of course, Stephen, you're very welcome. Mary, you're very welcome as well, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about Calgary and what it has to offer people who are going to maybe relocate and settle there.
Sure. Calgary is a relatively young city, and it's a population of just over 1 million people, and it's about an hour away from the Rocky Mountains. So it's you definitely have a backyard of outdoor activity for sure. Salaries there are very competitive. It's very affordable. It has a low tax regime, so it's a very desirable place, and it typically gets lost. People know Toronto or Vancouver, but Calgary has really been driving economic growth for the country.
One of the 5th most livable cities in the world.
That's correct. 3 years running.
Well, you're saying all the right things. Beautiful countryside.
Yes.
Low tax regime certainly will appeal to a lot of people in this country who are trying to get out. Right. What sort of workers? What sort of fit are you looking for?
We're looking for all types of workers, so everything from health practitioners, nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, to engineers, to accountants, lawyers, and also tradespeople, so in construction as well as oil and gas.
So it's right across the spectrum.
Absolutely.
Then. Fantastic. Is there any help in relocating?
Well, definitely we have both our provincial and our federal government that will be here in Ireland this weekend talking about what it's like to move there or immigrate there, and we'll be supporting, it's typically a normal process that we go through to have immigrants move across to Canada.
Excellent. So. Now, if we decide to take a job there and I'm going to move across and I'm going to bring my family with me and we want to start a new life, how long can we stay in Calgary for? Or how long do we have to remain in Calgary? Are we there for good once we sign up?
Well, it really depends on what choice of occupation you're taking.
Okay.
But yeah, again, our immigration will help people with that, and people can go to the Government of Canada and understand specifically what the requirements are for their specific profession. But yeah, and it's, integrating into Calgary is quite easy. First of all, we have about 500,000 people who claim that they're from Irish descent.
Okay. So there'll be lots of new friends to meet.
That's right. There definitely are lots of Irish in Canada.
Schools, education, obviously, and health service, what are they like?
Great. And in fact, that's why Calgary is ranked the 5th most livable city in the world, is because of those. We have a really strong education system, a really strong healthcare system, and a low tax regime, and it's very affordable to live there, not to mention just the outdoor lifestyle that I suggested before. So
your children would have a great time by the sound of things. Lots
Absolutely.
To do.
It's a real great sense of community in Calgary. We have great neighborhoods to live in. So.
Okay. You've sold it to me anyway. Any TV
well, we'll
jobs gone.
You there too.
Stephen, the exhibition has been running for a number of years now quite successfully, and no doubt it'll be another success this weekend. A lot of people out there want to get away and want to start again. What can you offer, or how will you offer them?
Well, I mean, the figures that came out for the CSO there last week were saying that 87,000 people had left the country up until April of this year. I mean, without a doubt, they are moving abroad. I mean, what we've done with the show over the years is that a lot of it in the initial stages was very much about work and holidays, so the 1-year gap year sort of type thing. But over the last number of years, we've seen the demographic shift to a lot more families and so on. I think a lot of people sort of talk about the amount of job expos and events that are out there at the moment. This is a very specific type of exhibition because you get immigration advice at this, which it's not just the employment element of it. I mean, employment is very important because you get the job, then you get the visa. But essentially, I mean, one of the things I say to a lot of people is that if you want to go out and get immigration advice from a lawyer, it costs you €200 or €300 euros to get that advice.
Minimum, I would think, yeah.
Minimum. You can actually come along to the exhibition. The seminars by the federal government of Canada, by Australia, New Zealand. There's migration agents there. You can get free assessments, and that's what makes this show. It's not necessarily the jobs and the employment opportunities. It's actually being able to talk to people about the questions that you asked Mary there.
Yeah.
How long can I stay for? What type of visa is it? Is there a permanent residency option at the end of that?
Banking, sending money home, setting up home, all
shipping, even the shipping,
That'll all be there.
Like, do I actually buy new, or do I ship everything I've got with me?
Well, it's wonderful that Calgary's sending a 60-strong delegation. I know the Canadian minister's on his way as well. He'll be there lunchtime today. So you're obviously on a selling policy here and trying to recruit, which is great to see that there are some jobs available and people can go. But you'll be focusing on some other countries as well, Stephen.
We also, I mean, traditionally what we've always covered what we would call the big three. I mean, essentially there is the big four, which is the US.
Yeah.
But from our perspective, we have a US immigration lawyer who'll be there talking about various different opportunities for the US. But our main focus has been Australia, New Zealand and Canada. for the last 6-7 years. At the moment, there's a strong emphasis on Canada. Obviously, there's a lot of employers here. Canada's economy is doing very well. But the one nice thing about Canada is that they're not very specific at the moment in terms of, people talk about Australia and they say, oh, it's only health or it's engineering or whatever it is. Now, Australia is open to a wide range of occupations, but Canada is actually here with the jobs. So they've actually got employers, like 50 employers or more than 50 employers, who are actually able to interview you at the exhibition and make you a job offer.
They're making it easy for Irish people to move over.
Very easy,
to put it in a nutshell. Look, good luck with it this weekend. I hope you get many new recruits, and I hope a lot of people go on to successful careers. It's a pity to have to leave our shores to do so, but it's a new beginning for a lot of people. They'll be delighted to leave. I'm sure under the current circumstances for some of them. Thanks indeed for talking to us this morning. Now, the news is next here at 9:30. Let's take the news now with Brian.